Alright, welcome everybody. This is GiveUAnxiety on the mic, and I'm going to be casting the EPL tournament series here between Lacasse State and Forjustice. This is week 3 here. We have Lacasse, who is a colonel playing as the Germans, versus Forjustice, who is currently ranked as a captain. Game 1 is going to be played on Florida, so this is a best of 5. I mean, it is 5 games, so it's slightly different rules where regardless if a player is up like 3-0, we play all 5 games. So it's called a play all 5, and obviously your score is relevant because you guys are on a team, so you want to win as many games, even if you go down 3-0. You want to try to get as many wins as possible. So here we go. We have Forjustice playing as Japan and Lecastete up in top playing as the Germans here. Lecastete is going to start off with the trading post right off the bat here, and Forjustice is going with the consulate. Let's see if there's any good treasures here. We got a native guarded by 2 alligators. Always nice getting a native treasure, so Forjustice may be looking to get that a little bit later. And then also 75 food treasures, so there's some pretty nice ones really close by for him. Trading post is up for Lacasse State. And let's take a look at text completed. Make sure both players do have a market. Occasionally on this map there will be a bug where like one player doesn't spawn with a market, but everything looks good. And it looks like Lacasse is going to be gathering gold to research hunting dogs. And Forjustice does pick up 75 wood treasures, so very nice treasure. And now he's off the bat building his first shrine, building it quite defensively here. Lacasse moving his explorer around looking for treasures. He did get a 20 wood treasure, just a small one there. He might come across this native treasure, which would actually be very nice. Yeah, looks like he's going to walk right into it. I would expect Lacasse to go for this native treasure right here, right off the bat. Hopefully he still has a sharp shot. Might not have. He might have just used it. I believe he did see that. Maybe he'll go back for that in a bit. But he also is going to be careful about any Japan explorers that may be nearby ready to steal that treasure, so got to be quite careful with that. And then we got a big 120 coin treasure over here. Task completed. Lacasse hunting dogs does come through. Alright, I think everything does sound good. Got a little bit of confirmation there. So Forjustice throwing down a second shrine here, placing it right next to his first one. So it's not necessarily indicative of what strategy he might be going for, but it could be a sign. They are placed quite defensively. Sometimes the shrines will be further out on the map where it would be easier for your opponent to siege the shrine. So when they're really close to your town center, it makes them more difficult to be sieged down. So it means that he could be going for kind of aggressive play and just trying to keep shrines alive, possibly. We do have the wonder down now for Forjustice, and there's a nice 135 coin treasure in the back of Lacassete's base. It's guarded by 2 pirates who's going to sharpshoot one and then go back for that later. He did walk past this native treasure. I'm sure he must have scouted that because I believe he walked like right over here. So kind of surprised he didn't go for that. Maybe he didn't have the sharpshoot available at that time and he didn't want to get that treasure stolen. But here's another 100 food treasure, 2 blowgunners guarding it. Couple more, another shrine coming down here. We'll go back to text completed and see how eco-heavy Lacasse goes here with his market upgrades. Starting to do his herding here. And we'll take a look at each player's decks here. So we do have some water play here for Forjustice, actually, quite a bit. And quite a few industrial cards. Taking a look at Lacassete's deck. Pretty standard. He does have improved warships, though, so that's a pretty big sign, I suppose. No rifle riders, but he does have the Jaegers, of course. And looking at shipments sent, Forjustice did go with the Carney Ma, or Heavenly Kami. So we do now have placed our mines in. Lacasse sharpshoots the other pirate, and he's going to pick up a nice 135 coin treasure here. Doing some more herding. You know, you always want to keep the animals alive. You don't want one just like decaying like this, but obviously it can sometimes just happen. Couple more shrines going down here. So Forjustice is at 80 shrine pop right now, so it's pretty good. He's shrining pretty heavily here. And Lacasse State hits age 2 as 400 Wood Politician comes in. Native Treasure still hasn't been taken yet. Forjustice focusing on these shrines, up at 110 shrine pop already, so really going pretty booming quite hard with the shrines here. Couple houses going down for Lacasse State. Let's see if he's going to throw down first military building, or is he looking to get early steel traps. Let's see what the plan is here. Forjustice getting his first market upgrade here. And we do have barracks going down for Forjustice now, so going to be looking to get some units out. And he did ship 3. Go back. And yeah, we do have a really early steel traps from Lacasse State here, so 515 steel traps. Going back to shipments sent, or this was not shipment sent, this was just from the export that you can get from the consulate, so that's really nice, just boosts his economy even further. And we do have the 2 free Ulans coming in from Lacasse State's first shipment. He did ship the 3 settler wagons. And Ulan's going to see if they can find anything here, but Forjustice is on top of it, putting his villagers in the TC right away. Looks like that sound alert might be a little bit loud. Oh, it's actually like doubled, for unfortunately. I don't know why it looks like the alert was really weird. But I believe that was a donation from I Will Spank You. I didn't catch how much it was or a message, but thanks a lot. And I'll have to maybe see if I can fix the alert, probably after this game or something. But always appreciated the support. So the Ulan's running around, not finding any villagers, or not able to really poke as Forjustice is, of course, on top of it, putting his villagers in the town center. Couple of Ashy Armade trying to catch the Explorer here, and this Jap Explorer may get denied here. Let's see if he can finish this shrine and then maybe poof out in time. He does finish it, and he does poof out in time. Very nice. And then he just deletes that one. So at 180 shrine pop, whew, that is a lot. And then shipping 600 wood and followed by 4 villagers. So Forjustice is booming really heavily here. Lacasse State did go pretty eco-heavy himself. He did not make any cavalry in H2, I want to say. Let's see, did he maybe make 1? He got 4 free ones from his 2 shipments, and I believe one of them died. So yeah, I don't think he made any cavalry at all in H2. It looks like he did not. He did build a stable, and so basically just doing a naked FF here with a 700 coin. And he is in H3 now, so let's see what's his first shipment going to be. Possibly 1,000 wood, or is he just going to go more aggressive? He's gathering quite a bit of wood, so it looks like I would not expect 1,000 wood at this point since he's got so many on wood here. And let's take a look at text completed. Did he research Gang Saw? Yeah, he did research Gang Saw and Steel Trap. So Lacasse going really eco-heavy with these upgrades. And but at the same time, Japan player is also going very economically focused here. Take a look at shipments sent. What are we going to see from Lacasse as first shipment? Is it going to be skirmishers, or what's the plan here? Yeah, don't expect to see the wood shipment now, as he's already researched Gang Saw, and quite a few villagers are on wood. And Forjustice is up to H3. We don't have any walls up from the Japan player, but he is at 200 population now, 200 shrine pop. And that's scary. When you let a Japan player get away with that, that is scary. Even though Lacasse was booming quite hard himself, I don't know, man. A Jap 200 shrine pop, that is not something to mess around with. And some fishing boats even over here. So we do have a lot of Ulans on the map right now. Veteran Ulans are being researched. We do have skirmishers crossing the map here, as the skirmishers were the first shipment from Lacasse State. But there are a lot of Ashies here, and just some more being trained. A castle, wow, a castle actually being built here from Forjustice. So maybe going like Ashy flaming arrows. And here we go, big engage is starting to begin. Let's see, is this castle going to get up in time? Let's see if any villagers get picked off here by skirmishers. Nope, just getting some shots onto the Ashies. Castle is already low HP though, as it did take a lot of damage as it was being constructed there. Kind of surprised Lacasse not running in with his cavalry to get the snare. A couple of them are still attacking the castle. Maybe he really wants to deny it. Minutemen are being called there. A couple of the Ulans are connecting onto the Ashies. Skirmishers are really cleaning them up though. Second set of Minutemen called. Skirmishers is doing a really good job here. Ulan's trying to retreat and not die to these Minutemen here, to the sentries. We also have both sets of Minutemen called here, as I said. Villager is exposed here. Yumis did just come from the age up here. Ulan's going to try to get on top of the Yumi. Yumi trying to retreat in to use their choke points and TC fire. And looks like these Ulans are going to be cleaned up. A couple of the Yumis are going to survive here. 2 skirmishers left in the Explorer. So Forjustice dealing with this quite fine, to be honest here. Up in score and 200 population. A couple Ulans sieging a shrine down. But yeah, I think the Japan player is looking quite good here. And let's see. Lacasse following this up by shipping 9 Ulans. And now dropping down to barracks. But I don't know if this is the answer. I mean, Japan eco is just... Oh, let me... sorry about that. I didn't have to recalculate economic pop up. But yeah, the Japan eco is just quite scary. And now Lecastete just sieging shrines with Ulans. And yeah, you're going to take out some shrines, but the time you spend sieging shrines is just giving Forjustice more time to just boom and get his eco even scarier. Another Rax is coming down here, and stable was built for Forjustice. So, and we do have Discipline, Ashigaru, and Yumi are just regular right now. And then we did have 8 shipments of Ashes here. Oops, it's not letting me click. There we go. So Lacaste's happy just sieging with the Ulans, but I don't think this is really the best call for him. He has popped a 90 out of 90 right now too, so he's been kind of struggling to get houses up. And Forjustice getting a couple free shots here and actually forcing Lacasse to retreat. So Lacasse really giving Forjustice a lot of time here, killing maybe 1 shrine, but just giving him loads of time to just continue to boom away here. And Lacasse now shipping 7 skirmishers after this. Another shipment of 8 Ashes are shipped from Forjustice. So both players now focusing on the military shipments. And now we even have cavalry. Oh, and we got Discipline Nagy Riders being researched. Not sure if Forjustice wants to be this forward out, though. I think he's better off in the late game here. He doesn't really need to have his army out taking engagements here, but he is kind of poking away. Maybe he feels safe enough to be able to exchange some fire and still be able to get out of there. Another shrine's going down, but it's at 180 shrine pop, so it's not a big deal. Military-wise, unit population-wise, Lacasse is in favor here. He does have more military population, but the eco is heavily in favor of Forjustice here. And Lacasse just being happy sieging these shrines, but the timer is on. You don't want the Japan player to have lots of time here, and Forjustice maybe just feeling like he can take the engagement, but like I said, time's really in his favor, so doesn't really need to force the engagement. Oh, a couple Nagys popping on the wrong side there, unfortunately, and Forjustice maybe trying to just start the fight here, but those 2 Nagys do go down for free immediately, and then the rest of the Nagys are out of position too. Not the best begin to this fight here from Forjustice. However, Nagys are starting to get onto the Ulans, and there are a couple of these not samurais, but I forgot however you say those dudes. Lacasse firing away here. Scores are really even at this point. Economically, it is still pretty heavy in favor of Forjustice, though. Let's take a look at text completed. See if like Lacasse got no more eco upgrades really. Another engage here. Let's see. And yeah, this German military is starting to really window down, and Japan player is looking very strong right now with the superior eco, and military population is just about even. He did build this castle. What was this castle for? Just to be like, just a dude, I don't know, as a tower or what? Maybe he switched up his idea. But yeah, built a castle, and I don't think he really got anything out of it yet. Lacasse trying to poke with his skirmishers here. Now switching to a more heavier war wagon composition to deal with the Nagys. And there we go. Nagys do pop. Looks like Forjustice, nope, was going to try to get the snare, but decides to retreat. he does have a lot of Ashies now, and oh, looks like he's just going to try to force the fight here. He's going to connect with the snare here with the Naggies, and then Ashies are just going to try to deal as much damage as possible. Ulans are on top of the Naggies. Naggy count is melting quite quickly. Could start doing the Ashie raids, though. And these villagers, look how close they are to all these Ashies. Once you get Ashies running around the map with their speed, they become very scary. Forjustice did have to ship 2 cherry orchards here, though, so a little bit of a slowdown there for him. Ooh, and we have the Jaegers on the field for Lacasse State. That is a big power spike for the German military. Military is, well, about even right now. Actually, oh, maybe that just kicked in there. Or maybe he had some more units just trained. Military now in favor of Lacasse State. He does have skirmishers, and Jaegers are not going to be joining with quite a few war wagons here. And I do really like his army composition opposed to the Ashie and Naggy. The German army composition seems to just directly counter the Japan army comp right now, especially with the ability to hit and run and kite really heavily. Surprised there's not any Yumi here. Maybe a little bit too afraid of the Ulans, the heavy Ulan mass that can occur. Going very heavy with the Naggies. A couple of war wagons getting snared here, but Jaegers and skirmishers making quick work there. And let's see, is Lacasse going to be able to kite and retreat here? Trees could cause a big issue with pathing here. War wagons, not the best control by Lacasse. Naggies are not connecting onto the war wagons. Skirmishers and Jaegers trying to retreat here. A couple Ulans coming in. War wagons are snared, though. Once war wagons get snared, they become very, very bad. When war wagons are not snared, they're extremely strong units, but once they get snared, they become much worse. Naggy count is still actually quite high in there. That's the last war wagon, and Lacasse is not looking good for him right now. All of his units are snared, and Ashies are really getting on top of the army, actually just even retreating with the Ashies, just letting the Naggies finish them off there. And that was honestly quite poor control from Lacasse State there. I don't know if he didn't anticipate the trees here, but and there's the GG. Game 1 is going to Forjustice. Lacasse State had the perfect army to kite and just hit and run for days and days. But he didn't put his army in the best positioning. He had really bad positioning, and he was forced to retreat, make a quick retreat, and he kind of went into these trees, and he also looked like, I don't know if he didn't use his control groups with the war wagons or the skirmishers, but he ended up kind of putting the war wagons in the middle of the skirmishers, and then the pathing got really messed up instead of having them kind of like retreat separately in 2 groups to keep the pathing really clean. So he kind of like mashed them all in together, and that caused the initial problem. And then these trees, he took not the best route. He really walked into the trees, so that of course caused more issues. And then once the snare just got onto the war wagons just melted quite quickly. So good game by Forjustice, boomed really heavily here, and just relied on trying to catch the Lacasse State's military there. We do have an arsenal here from Lacasse State. We'll take a look at some post-game stats here. Yeah, military unit population. If you look at this, Lacasse State actually had more military population at that fight at the end there, or it just started just about here, and he just got completely demolished in that fight. And like I said, war wagons, they can be very good units, but once they get snared, they become like extremely bad. So you need to have very good control with war wagons. And honestly, Lacasse State just I don't know if he lost his composure or just wasn't ready for that engage to begin, and his unit control was quite poor there. So game 1 does go to Forjustice here in this play all 5. Alright, so we'll take a look at the map pool here. Game 1 was Florida, so game 2 is going to be on Arkansas. And let's see, I'm going to go to the chat, make sure everything's looking good. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I'm able. well, let's see if I can look at what alerts went. Alright, so we're going to get into game 2 here in just a second. I hate how they always change Streamlabs or OBS. Let's see. So I'm not sure if my sub alert went off twice or that was a donation alert. Alright, so Lacasse State is the one who was forced to lock first in game 2 here. Looks like he's thinking it over. And while he does that, we're going to make sure everything is good. Looking good for him right now. All of his units are snared, and Ashes are really getting on top of the army. Looks like Lacasse State's really thinking this one over. Okay, there we go. I think I just saw the alerts. Donated. Let's see. Why does that show up twice? Oh, that's like the sub alert. I don't know why that's... Okay, that was weird. Thanks a lot. Sorry, I was trying to make sure that was that was working good. But I believe that was like another $40 donation from I Will Spank You. As always, incredibly generous and huge support to the ESOC and AoE3 community. So much appreciated. I think the alert should be good now though after that one. I don't know why. I was trying to set up the sub alert and the donation alert, but I don't know. It looks like it set up like 2 donation alerts, which was strange. Alright, I don't know if Lacasse State's still thinking. What's going on in this man's brain? He's taking his sweet time. Alright, so we have Lacasse locking in with the French. Hopefully, I don't know if they recorded game 1. I hope they did. And I did turn up the game volume. You guys were saying that the game volume was really low for previous games, so hopefully it'll be fixed for this one. Just let me know when we hop into it. I'll take a look. And Forjustice is going on to Brit, so it looks like he maybe going with the Brit counter pick here. Alright, so I'm going to ready up, and whenever these guys are ready, we're going to hop into game 2 here in this play all 5. And yeah, Forjustice is clicking in, so it looks like he is happy using his counter pick to choose the British civilization. And here we go, guys. We're going into game 2 here of the EPL tournament. This is week 3. Game series is Lacasse State versus Forjustice here in the playoff 5. Game 1 did go to Forjustice. He was Japan playing versus Lacasse State's German on Florida. And now we're in game 2. This is Arkansas. Lacasse State is playing as a French, and Forjustice playing as a British here. This is a pretty classic matchup. You've probably heard lots of casters and community talk about this matchup. A lot of people say, you know, when you think of AoE3, this is one of the matchups that immediately comes to mind for a lot of people. Just a very classic matchup. Both these civs have been around since the vanilla, so this matchup has been played a lot on different patches. It's a pretty even matchup, I'd say. Not sure that there's any one clear favorite here, so we're being in store for a good game here. Lacasse State is starting with a market here. Forjustice also going with the market. Forjustice is already starting to herd a second hunt, which is kind of interesting. Getting really out there. We do have a tomahawk here in the middle. Let's see if either player goes for that treasure. Nice 90 food treasure here Forjustice can possibly get. Using the villager to go pick up this 50 coin. Very nice. Help with the hunting dogs there. Looks like he actually didn't notice that 50 coin right off the bat, so he did end up basically overgathering 34 coin, which is a little bit unfortunate. He might even be housed right now. He's at 10 out of 10. He might have had a little bit of idle time, or possibly, or his age up will just be slightly later. So, you know, it's always ideal if you can see those treasures right away, but maybe he might not have had line of sight. And, you know, sometimes you just don't notice them right away. So, kind of overgathered 34 coin, but, you know, it happens. He's going for a 90 food treasure now. Meanwhile, Lacasse State's going to pick up a 95 wood himself, so he's going to be quite happy with that. Native running around the map trying to see what he can find here. So let's see, what could these players be doing here? Pretty typical opening would be, you know, open stable, do 5 husks. I guess the first interesting thing will be from Forjustice. Is Forjustice going to age up with the 200 gold and the tower politician, or will he age up with the 500 food politician? Either one is viable. I'd say the 200 gold and tower is the most common age up politician for the British, but the 500 food can be really good. And so it'll be interesting to see what Forjustice goes for here. Neither player with a trading post quite yet. Let's see if Lacasse State starts making his way over there soon to get that trading post in transition. And we do have a big 235 coin treasure over here. Ooh, and the French villager guarded by these 4 big black bears. Always a really big treasure. It's kind of really in the corner here. I wonder who scouted this. Usually it's kind of more in the middle over here somewhere, but got it kind of hidden in the corner there. So British villager is pretty far out on the map right now. Let's see if he's going to throw down forward man here and possibly make a forward base. Lacasse explorer in position, drop down that trading post. And there we go. We do have a manor being built by Forjustice. Native explorer is in stealth mode here. Lacasse just herding his hunts. So both players did get age 1 hunting dogs. Forjustice now getting gang saw in transit after the age up. In transition, normal age 1 shipments here. And Forjustice sending his villagers even more forward here to herd this other hunt further away from Lacasse State. Lacasse State does have a back hunt though, so he's pretty good on hunt here. Both players with just 1 gold mine in the base, but you know, not the biggest issue there. So let's see, is Forjustice, it looks like he's going to drop down some forward military buildings here. Lacasse State's really on top of it though with his South Explorer, so he's going to be able to see, is it going to be a stable, is it going to be a Rex, or You know, I would imagine that they're gonna build something here. I don't think they're just hanging out there just to eat some deer. Lacasse State is now up to H2. Forjustice just slightly behind him, and we do have the outpost wagon. So Forjustice did age up with 200 gold and the outpost, and we do have barracks going down for Forjustice here, kind of on the side here. I guess there's not really much hunted quite, you know, in dead middle right here. So maybe the fort base is a bit on the side, but it does kind of secure this hunt here. And it looks like Forjustice maybe has his eyes on building a trading post, or maybe just denying a second TP from Lacasse State, as he has his explorer positioned right here, kind of keeping tabs on that. Now he's starting to move him out a bit. And this is really good from Lacasse State. Perfect positioning with this native. Just going to be able to see exactly what gets made. And sees that there's a barracks here. Probably sees this tower, or maybe a little bit out of line of sight. And he's going to see one military units are the first ones to appear here. Do we have 700 wood coming in for Forjustice? Lacasse State chipping the 4 French villagers. Go back to text completed, see what these guys are working with. We do have steel traps from both players, so both players going with the early steel traps. Lacasse State also getting placer mines. And we do have Musk out. Lacasse State does see this, and now it's stable going down for Forjustice. So it looks like Forjustice is going for the Musk Husk. We do have 5 Musk versus 5 Musk meeting in the middle here. Let's see who's going to react first and get a first shot off. Forjustice is pulling away here a bit. Explorers. Oh, here we go. Lacasse State with the first engage here. Going to pick off the first musket there. So nice little pickup there from Lacasse State. Let's see. French villager is still alive. I don't like Forjustice. He hasn't really been using his explorer as much as I would like. He was kind of just keeping his explorer by a TP. Maybe he wanted to see if there's a second trading post, but I think now at this point you really got to try to find that French native. Just move your explorer around and try to find where that stealth native is, and just get him out of here. Get him out this game. So we got another batch of muskets trained here. 5 settlers being shipped from Forjustice. Lacasse State shipping 700 wood. And Lacasse State just on 1 Rax right now. He does have, he's actually adding in a second Rax here. So he sees the Musk Husk, and yeah, he's going to be going heavy Musk to counter, which, you know, I like it. I like it. And we do have, what is this? Just a bear. A bear is joining Forjustice's team. Ooh, looks like both players kind of forgot about this treasure. Lacasse now going to try to maybe chip away at this and take it over time. Let's see. Lacasse native is going to see, should see these muskets moving in. So, very good information. And Lacasse with lots of muskets, he could really take this engage now. Forjustice trying to move in, see if there's anything that he can poke away at, but Lacasse with a superior musket mass here, getting a free volley in there just on the Explorer. Lacasse chipping 700 gold, and I think he's going to be ready to age up here. Let's see if he has anything in queue. Is he going to make more muskets? He does have 1 batch of muskets in queue from both barracks. He could cancel them at any moment, or he could just make, just 2 muskets. Let's see what his decision is here. It looks like he does plan to age up here. And yep, he cancels the 2 muskets, I believe. And he's happy to age up here, as Forjustice was not really pushing in too heavy there. Just the 2 hustlers are only made here. So Lacasse is on his way to H3. Military-wise, he's down by actually just a little bit. He's actually has a superior musk count, it looks like. And yeah, Lacasse is just looking really good here, I'd say. And he's going to get some free shots off here on these muskets here. Nice free volleys, and going to kill the Explorer. Forjustice trying to deny this TP. I think Lacasse is getting overly distracted by these 2 Hussars, and he could have kept his trading post alive, but maybe just not wanting to poke out too far as he's aging, and perhaps the safer call, as he did train another full batch of muskets there. Trading post does go down, so it definitely hurts a bit. Just get H3. You want the XP rolling in to get these H3 shipments. But he does have 1 shipment right now that he just sent right after an H3, so I think he's still looking quite good here. So you look at Forjustice's plan here. He's only at 90 manor population. Honestly, I am not the biggest fan of this build from Forjustice. Oh, okay, he's actually aging now. I was about to say, where are his resources? Forjustice is actually aging himself. Only at 90 manor population. And the British age up takes a very long time And I don't know, and then it even takes longer to really like pay off because you don't really get much from it immediately. Looks like we have a bit of a lag spike here. I think game one was fine, and I think this is just maybe a bit of a lag spike. But yeah, players are gonna pause it. Yeah, sometimes you just get a little bit of lag spike, so if you just pause it for a little bit, it can kind of let it go. But yeah, I think game one was really fine, and even earlier in this game there wasn't any lag, but it did have a little bit of lag spike there, so no big deal. And yeah, it looks like it's good now. And here we go. We have the 2 cannons, and was this like 20 muskets? 31 muskets. Veteran muskets, yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. I do not like this strategy from Forjustice. The Brit age up, it's so tough to pull off and like to do. It just takes so long. He's like barely halfway up to age 3, and he's gonna lose his stable and barracks here. It looks like I don't see these being staying alive here. 5 hustlers are maybe trying to move in, see if they can get a flank off here. Oh, cannons are actually pretty unprotected right now from Lacasse, and very heavily unprotected, honestly. Muskets are now getting in onto the hussars. Gets one shot off, but that was, oof. Oh God. That was a little bit painful. Lacasse usually is quite good with his cannon control, I would say, but a little bit off his game today, it looks like, with his unit control. That was honestly quite poor. He had just 5 hussars kill his 2 cannons when he had 31. He had 31 muskets and 2 cannons, and he let the 2 cannons go down to 5 hussars, and I think only 2 huss went down. So huge pickup from Lacasse State, and what turned into being what should have been an easy cleanup of this stable and barracks and even tower, with the 2 cannons firing array and the veteran muskets. It instead, because the 2 cannons going down, it turns into Forjustice stabilizing and now being in a good position where he's age 3, has a slightly superior economy. Stable does go down though, he didn't get it repaired, and at the same time it is going to take some time to get these veteran muskets are now just coming in. Still a really close game, but definitely not the best of those 2 cannons went down there. 3 Crusaders are coming in very slowly there. 1 must slowing them down. 2 cannons are shipped at the tower though, however. And cannons are not going to fire away. Crusaders trying to get into the fight here. Trees are going to do a great job blocking here. Excellent positioning from Forjustice here. And Lacasse is just going to have to retreat here. And that was just huge. Those 2 cannons going down. You cannot underestimate. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Maybe understate the importance of those 2 cannons going down. Lacasse State had the military to just completely clear these military buildings, destroy them, and destroy the tower. But just like I said, not the best control there with his units, and those 2 cannons going down from nearly for free. And now Forjustice is looking quite good for himself here. Forjustice moving out on the further hunts here. Does still have some hunt in the back here, and he does have the superior military here. Lacasse going to try to poke away with some skirmishers, but there's still 1 cannon left for Forjustice here. Looks like 3 Crusaders are going to be coming in to try to get a flank here, but the French military, it looks quite small right now. But military pops are actually, oh yeah, they are very one-sided actually. And yeah, this stable is going to go down here. And there's just not a ton that Lacasse can do right now. He's going to lose the stable. Looks like he's about to lose another house. He's trying to poke with some skirmishers here. Gets up a couple volleys there, doing nice little damage. Doesn't want to get hit by the cannon, though, of course, so doing a really good job controlling the skirmishers there. The Crusaders are moving in, trying to get onto the cannon. See if we see a Minutemen call here, possibly. Lacasse looking for timing, actually rebuilding a stable here. So that's huge, obviously. That is, stable did go down. And also losing a house there at 90 population. He's going to have to buy and sell here just to be able to make military units. Explorers, I believe, revived here for like full health there. Could have connected with Snare. There's a skirmisher shipment. Minutemen being called. Muskets moving in. Crusaders trying to move in, targeting down the cannon. The cannon does go down, and this could be quite good for Lacasse. I mean, at the end of the day, there's really no cav, and Lacasse could possibly just hit and run for days here. More and more skirmishers being trained, and Forjustice is forced to retreat as his military is pretty much just pure muskets at this point. He did now start making some longbows, but no cavalry. Being forced to retreat as his... So you don't want pure muskets versus pure skirmishers, obviously. Did have a 10 longbow shipment come in for Forjustice here. He did lose that stable, did he? Never. He did rebuild a stable at home. Oh, he did make some goons, I believe, but not a whole lot there. And now all of a sudden, Lacasse State's looking pretty good. He had good engage there at his town center. 2 hussars are on the field here, both pretty low here. And looks like Forjustice is going to lose this barracks. And tower also going to go down here. So Forjustice with the superior military population, but he just essentially has muskets versus skirmishers here. So he really needs to rebalance his army composition. And he is now putting down a barracks at home and a second stable. So let's see if he goes for heavy Huss. That could be a good solution, as Lacasse does not have many anti-cav here. He does have these muskets. He's got 13 muskets. But Forjustice did see that. Yeah, and here we go. Here's the very good switch, the Hussar switch from Forjustice. As Forjustice did see that Lacasse was very heavy with the skirmishers. So Forjustice making a smart decision and dropping down a second stable, researching veteran Hussars, and looks like he's going to go with a very heavy veteran Huss spam here. Doesn't want to show his veteran Huss, though. Wants to keep them hidden until his engage begins. And now some goons are being trained as Lacasse. Knowing his army composition is very skirmisher heavy, he knows that he's got to get some more anti-cav mixed in. Both players... Oh, these villagers finding the Minutemen here. Who will win this engage? Both players' main armies just kind of dancing around. Let's see, do any... Nope, all the villagers live there. And here we go. Looks like we may have big engaged. Skirmishers going to get off some nice volleys to begin. Some more goons are being trained. Looked like Forjustice slightly missed the timing, but he has a lot of Huss, though. And here we go. The engage is going to begin. Forjustice going to connect with the snare here. Trying to get on top of the goons, as there are not many goons. And that is a lot of Hussars. Veteran muskets are in very good positioning, though. Now being pulled away here. Goons trying to fire away, whittle down this Hussar count. Hussar still staying pretty strong here. Count is starting to get windowed down, though, quite heavily, as the goons are in really good positioning. Firing away here. There's still quite a few Huss, though. And now the British infantry units are catching up here, getting some shots onto the skirmishers. Goons very good positioning, getting as many shots off as they can onto these Hussars. Couple of Crusaders here now joining the fight. Lacasse going to be able to retreat here as he finishes with killing all the Hussars and getting a last volley in there. All in all, I don't know, pretty even trade, I'd say. Forjustice, I would have liked to see the Hussars take different angles. He really just rammed all of his Huss in, from just one angle, and he did connect with the snare pretty efficiently. But sometimes if you can have one group of Hussars kind of do a flank, and then really surround the goons and snare the goons, and then try to kill the goons quickly, that can really be great for you. Forjustice finding the French villagers here, but let's see, Lacasse might just decide to fight with his villagers here in military. Nope, just retreating with his villagers. Does have his skirmishers, so he isn't be able to hit and run here and I don't think we see much cavalry from Forjustice now. Really just back to having the infantry mass. He does have a decent amount of longbows, though. Economic population lead is in favor of Forjustice here by about 10, or by 10. Military is pretty even here. Now we do have some more Huss on the field. Both players starting to get really far out for these resources. Oh, not using the native. Lacasse was doing a really good job using that native earlier, but now kind of forgetting about it. But he is being pretty on top of it with some Crusader raids. Hussars are now coming in, though, and almost getting that snare. Very good, and Lacasse pulling back. Perfect timing there. Oh, and we do have a town center going to be going down for Lacasse here. Let's see if he can get this off. Now using this native. There we go. Forjustice sending out the low villager, and she is not going to make it. Hustler also goes down there. Let's take a look at the hunt situation for Forjustice. Now going on to Mills, and he's been on Barry. So, not taking advantage of this. He had the military population lead. He really needs to secure this hunt, and honestly, even like go far out for this hunt. Once the British player starts building mills and goes on the berries, it hurts their eco and just their overall game just so significantly. It's always beneficial to just go really far out for hunts. Another engage here. There are quite a bit of longbows here. The longbows and skirmishers just trading shots here. There are a lot of goons now. Actually, too many kind of overmade goons at this point. Maybe expecting lots of husks, but he did eliminate all the husks in the last engagement. So, yeah, Forjustice, he could have been on this hunt. This was huge. Now he's getting on this a bit late. Definitely would have been nicer to be on that hunt before transitioning to mills and berries, but. I guess, better late than never. Looks like this TC does get up for Lacasse State, so this could secure this side of the map, which is very big, as there's two big hunt patches here, batches, herds, whatever you want to call them, and a gold mine. And then even a gold mine over here, so kind of closes off this side of the map a bit, which is very nice. Skirmishers going to get some volleys. Longbow's firing away, though, too. Longbow's actually getting lots of good hits there. No trading posts are taken yet, actually. Oh, yeah, Lecastete did have the trading posts that he built in the transition to H2, but then it got sieged down right before he had H3, and then neither player decided to build TP after that. Military populations are quite even. We do have cavalry combat coming in, and the longbow upgrade card for Forjustice here. Let's take a look at these army compositions. Now Lacasse is starting to mix in Crusaders. He does have actually a really well balanced military composition. For a little bit, it was very goon favored, goon heavy, but now he's mixing in lots of Crusaders. And Forjustice, lots of longbows now. He does have a lot of veteran husks and veteran muskets here. So his anti-cav is the veteran muskets. He doesn't have a ton of anti-cav, and if this Crusader count continues to grow, that could be a concern for Forjustice. And Forjustice still on these berries, not taking advantage of the hunt as much as he could be. Alright, both players happy to just kind of boom away at this point. At this point, Lacasse does have a second town center, so he is starting to catch up in that eco lead, and at the same time, every one of his villagers, well, except these guys, are gathering from hunt, not from mills. So even though he has less economic population, in reality, he actually has more, because Lacasse has, what, 7 villagers gathering from mills, so they're gathering less efficiently than Lacassete's 65 recalculated economic pop. Skirmishers firing away at the longbows here. One villager does go down there. Let's see if Lacasse feels like he's ready to move in here, and he does. Hustlers are going to connect onto the... Oh, that I would have actually, for Lacasse in good position there. I think he should have maybe just took that. Goons are really in good position to fire away there. Lacasse deciding to retreat there. Honestly, I think I like that positioning from Lacasse, as it was fine as Crusaders were on top of the Hussars, but the Goons are directly behind them, and the Goons would have been firing away for days. Lacasse trying to find the right angle to push in with these Crusaders. Lots of his villagers are going down as he's kind of struggling to make a call here. Losing a lot of villagers as his army is just kind of hanging back here. I think he's a little bit too afraid to push in. He even has a superior military mass at this point, and he lost a lot of villagers there. Wow, that was a very good exchange for Forjustice. Lacasse losing lots of villagers that just unnecessarily there. Let's take a look at units lost. He's lost 15 villagers this game. And I don't recall him really losing many villagers before this. There might have been some raids here and there that possibly I missed or something. But honestly, I think he maybe lost at least 10 right there on that gold mine. And that is just huge. he basically had the superior eco before that fight, or at least the even eco, but just kept his villagers hanging out there while not really engaging, and his villagers, he just lost a lot of eco right there. Forjustice is running out of this hunt, though, as this is his last hunt, while Lacasse still going to be hunting for quite a while here. And we do have an engaged beginning here. Crusaders trying to connect onto the longbows. Goons are in pretty good position, trying to fire away at the hussars here. Military populations are actually in favor of Lecastete here by a little bit. And this anti-cav mass is starting to dwindle. It's hard to say which way this one's going, but the goons and skirmishers are just firing away, getting really good shots in. Longbows also firing away in the back, not being touched. The fight, very, very even fight here. Both players, military unit population hanging around very even during that entire engage. But, so very even trade there, but Forjustice has a superior eco after that earlier raid. So these even trades are going to benefit Forjustice, I'd say, even though Lacasse is still going to be on hunt here. It is going to be a rough transition for Forjustice, as he's going to have to do a full mill transition here. Could throw 3 more villagers onto this mill. And unless if he really tries to push out for the map and secure this last hunt, but he does have a superior military mass, and now it looks like that's what his plans are. I think he's completely unaware of this town center. Lacasse, unfortunately, forgetting about his explorer in these engagements. It's always nice just to add the explorer in to tank and even possibly connect the snare. So Lacasse just going to siege this TC down right away, forcing Lacasse to respond. Lacasse going to get a nice little pickup here. Oh, goon's not firing immediately there. Some more longbows back here, though. So actually, maybe a somewhat even trade. Maybe even beneficial for Forjustice, honestly. It's like 4 or 5 goons went down there. And TC is going to be getting pretty low here. Looks like it is going to go down. Lacasse trying to force an engage here, though. Longbows are in really good position. And military now is in favor of Forjustice. Skirmishers trying to get in to get some shots off. We got crossbows even on the field here. Take a look at shipments. Pretty even. Military is in favor of Forjustice, as longbows are really just firing away at this point. Lacasse going to be forced to retreat here. And, oh, here we go. Forjustice finally getting on top of these hunts. Really good job securing these hunts. And that's going to be huge. That's making it really in favor of Forjustice, as he does have the military advantage, eco lead, and he does even have refrigeration at this point, so his mills will be gathering pretty efficiently. Longbows firing away here, and the rest of Forjustice's army is meeting the longbows here. Going to try to connect the snare here and get these crusaders snared, and the rest of the army. Couple of pikes there, batch of longbows being trained, firing away immediately. Just 3 crusaders, and they are snared. We got pikes and hussars on the crusaders, as Lacassete's army is looking very small here. Running out of options, just ran out of the gold mine. And there is no gold on the field right now. He has very little gold and a long ways away from making any units, really. And actually just switching to the crossbows. Doesn't want to build plantation, so going for the veteran crossbows instead. But military very in favor of Forjustice right now, and this one's looking rough for Lacasse, looking like this could be a 2-0 for Forjustice to begin the series here. And Forjustice now sieging down the TC. Jaegers do come in. Can they save the day? I believe the answer is no. Jaegers, obviously, very good shipment. It's still 10 Jaegers. It's not the German 13. But yeah, I mean, Jaegers, they're really good when they're supplemented in an army. But, by themselves, of course, they won't be anywhere near as good. Crusaders trying to do some work here. Not much anti-cav. They are actually making pretty good work of these pikes. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, that's it. They're going to get cleaned up, and that's just Lacassete's last little military there. So game 2 does go to Forjustice here, as he is up 2-0, looking very, very strong in the start of the series. Take a look at some of the post-game stats, and oh man, honestly, let me go back to the map actually. Lacasse was looking very good early on in this game. As I did not like Forjustice's strategy at all, really. He did a 90 manor pop fast fortress, and he did like no damage in H2. He made like muskets. He went muscuss, 90 manor pop, and then went H3, and did like no damage in H2. And he should have got punished very heavily for that age up. But Lacasse, I don't know what he was doing, where his mind was at, but Lacasse making a major, major mistake when he had his 31 muskets right here and his 2 cannons. 2 cannons were firing away at the military buildings here, but he let his muskets just get too far away from his cannons, and 5 hussars came in from behind and killed 2 cannons, and he only lost 2 of the hussars. He traded 2 hussars for 2 cannons. Oh, that was painful to see. That the military mass that Lacasse had should have cleared the barracks, the stable, and the tower, and then that would have been huge. That would have given him a very big advantage. But instead, unfortunately, that's how quick things can change. Just a slight little misstep, miss micro, or loss of focus for just a few seconds, and it can completely change the game there. So. Forjustice doing a really good job taking advantage of Lacassete's little slip up there, and that was a very key moment in the game. Alright, we're going to be getting into game 3 here in just a minute. Going to adjust the sound a little bit again. I adjusted it after game, I don't know which one. I'll just adjust, well, let's see, maybe turn this one down, I guess. We'll do this. It sounds pretty loud for me. Let's see. Can I turn the volume down on mine? Oh, maybe I can't turn it down. Okay. Yeah, it's better. Alright. Oop. Let me leave game. Alright, so that was Lacaste's. He was forced to pick first there. So, slight disadvantage there where, he was forced to choose first and his opponent was able to counterpick him. So he did get counterpicked by British, not a huge counterpick. I do like French. I think that's a pretty good choice to pick on Arkansas when you're forced to choose first. But now Lacasse is going to have the advantage himself. He will be able to counterpick here in game 3. So Forjustice is going to be forced to choose his civilization first here. Looks like Forjustice is probably just restarting his computer, maybe for a game sound, or just restarting the game. So we'll give it a minute or two here. Actually, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, we are going to get into game 3 here in just a second. So, let's go with the map pool. I'll post it again so you guys can just see it. Alright, so Forjustice up 2-0, being forced to choose this civilization first here. Give him some time, think of his civilization. Let's see, so he played as British, and then what did he play as game 1? He played as, was it German, Japan? Forjustice played as Japan, so let's discuss these players' civ pool. Lacasse State playing as Germans in game 1, and then French in game 2. I think those are his two main civs. Trying to think of what his third main civ would be. I can't recall. He's quite comfortable with he has pretty good civ pool. I mean he might like pull out like Ottoman or I don't know, some other civs, but I'm not sure what his third main would really be. So it looks like Forjustice is locking India. So playing with some of these more I guess you can say unique or less played civs with like the Japan and India. Not always super heavily played, I suppose. So Lacasse gonna counterpick India. How do you counterpick India on Manchuria? Well, let's think. What can you go? Let's see. You could go Russia. I don't know if that would be. Actually, that'd probably be. I don't know. That's a very interesting matchup, Russia and India. A lot of people can discuss that and debate that for days. Not the best choice. There's got to be some better choices. Ottoman. Ooh, what about Ottoman versus India? Now I think that is a really heavy counter pick actually. Yeah, Ottoman could be a good choice for Lecastete here. Whatever, possibly you could do like port and go C. Not the worst option. Oh, China actually. I think China is a pretty good counter to India. So honestly, I would say China and Auto probably the top ones. I don't know how comfortable Lecastete is. I don't think Lecastete plays China. I think he's more familiar with Auto. He can't go German. He could go Dutch. I don't know if he would go Dutch. I know he does play Dutch. Even Euro versus, yeah, maybe even Euro. So he's got some options. Let's see what he goes for here. Casse taking his sweet time. What did I say? Auto would have been a really good choice. What was the other? Oh, China. Euro. Not okay. I like that choice. It's kind of going around community right now that Iroquois is a very strong civilization. A lot of people are recently discovering this. So, riding the Iroquois bandwagon. And here we go, guys. We are getting into game 3 here. Alright, so Forjustice forced to choose first. He picks India for game 3 here, and Lacasse goes with counterpick, choice of Iroquois. We're playing on Manchuria, and right now it is a 2-0 lead to Forjustice in this play, all 5 series, and I'm not sure if the map is correct. Maybe it is. It looks very large, but I know sometimes it spawns differently with a 2 TP route, or like, it can spawn with different TP routes. It just looks very large like this version, but I believe it's normal. Yeah, right? Yeah, I believe the map's good. Let me know in the chat, admins or Discord, if you guys see any issues with the map, but I believe it's fine. It just looks quite a bit different with the different TP routes that it can spawn with, and it kind of looks different with like on the mini map, but I believe it's okay. You got like 1, 2 hunts. Take a look at hunts here. That's yep, looks good. I'm kind of looking at hunts. I think everything looks pretty good. All right, so let's get underway with this one. Lecastete converting a lion here and picking up a 50 coin very early, so that's a very nice pickup. Getting some more cows and finding this 90 wood, so that's very nice being able to see that. Ooh, nice 55 coin treasure. You could have went for that one right off the bat. Forjustice does get 60 food treasure, and also picked up 20 coin there. So let's see, the wood treasures are very big on this map. You want to try to find these wood treasures. As Lacasse did already get that 50, was that 50 wood, I believe, right? Let's see, yep, yeah, that was a 50 wood, and then big 90 wood here. That Lacasse has eyes on this, but Forjustice does not. So a little bit surprised for that Lacasse didn't, beeline right to that, but he also probably didn't have his convert back yet. So maybe just looking for another one, and just keeping eyes on that treasure. Nice 65 coin here. Forjustice getting his cows here, his yaks. Oh, and I believe Forjustice maybe just scouted that. It kind of took a path right around there. Okay, and Lacasse deciding to use his Trivial to build a farm. Yeah. And then I suppose he gathered wood for the house, right? I believe he needed extra wood to get this house up. But yeah, this is actually really nice if you can do this with your coins, if you can make the farm. And here we go. We have a treasure contention. Let's see who's gonna get this one. Lecastete in better positioning. Forjustice better react soon. Okay, there he goes. Trying to get in the correct positioning here. Looks like Lacaste's still in a good spot here. Two lines are both still up. One line now attacking. Oh, and there we go. Lacasse with a shot to finish the line off and the treasure seal. Very nice. Getting the XP for the kill and the 90 wood. Very nice pickup there. So we got 90 wood and the 50 wood in age 1. Take a look at these treasures. So a total of 100. Lacasse treasures are 140 wood. And Forjustice got 60 food and 50 coin. So I'm going to give that age 1 to Lacasse. Let's take a look at the yak count. Was a 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 yaks on a farm, fattening up. Very nice. And Forjustice, so actually only 3 here. A defensive aggro goes down. As Iroquois have a lot of options. They can, rush quite heavily, or they can play really like eco-focused, like semi-fast fortress. We do have a trading post now going down for Lecastete. Forjustice already with a trading post. Ooh, and look at this. Forjustice shipping the dock rickshaw. Oh, and he's got his villager walking over here, but he could always heard these hunt. Oh, and then another big 85 wood back in behind his T base. That's very nice wood treasure positioning. I forget about this villager. It comes with a shipment, free villager, so let's see what his plans are. Yep, and let me start hurting now. So just a single villager is building the aggro here. The dock is up, so it looks like Forjustice is going to be playing this like prolonged H2 defensive style and just boom and defend. And we do have a consulate. Ooh, really early consulate for Forjustice here. No market down. Interesting. I'm really interested to see how this build turns out. There we go. Lacasse aging up with Trivial and the resources here, building a war hut at home, and already has a market. So let's take a look at text completed. Lacasse, nothing completed quite yet from either player, but Lacasse going with a second trading post. And Lacasse playing this really defensively. He's probably quite happy. He's seen that he got 6 yaks and he has a farm. He's probably happy to play this eco-focused and kind of wait for these yaks to completely fatten and just use that to boost his eco even further. But at the same time, Forjustice is just playing this very eco-focused himself. And, what's better, some fattened yaks or a very heavy water boom? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. 5 villagers is being shipped by Lecastete, so he's full boom mode here. Defensive boom. And the 2 free seaport from the age up are now moving across the map here, trying to Elephant's tracking down that lion there. Lacasse trying to see what Forjustice is up to. Go back to text completed. Okay, there we go. Now hunting dogs coming in for Lecastete. And what is this treasure here? Which increases cavalry siege damage. Oh, it's not that much, just maybe healing. Lacasse with the Iroquois Explorer moving around the map here, just trying to get some scouting information. You don't want that Explorer to die, though, at the same time, though. Nice little juke on these two Sepoy. Sepoy trying to connect with Snare there, but Lacasse saying nope. Still no market from Forjustice here. He's just happy training some fishing boats. He did ship 300 exports, so he's going to use that. He's on Ottoman consulates. Looks like we're going to have the 3 villagers just to further increase his boom. Lacasse chipping the 600 resources, which is 300 food, 300 wood, and 200 coin. So it's 800 really. Very nice. Lacasse full boom mode. His yaks are now fat. They are ready to be eaten. And Forjustice actually going to go for this. He wants his cavalry to be able to siege buildings down quicker. Maybe just going for the XP here, just trying to get a treasure to do something. Increase cavalry speed by 5%. This one definitely, of course, would have been a bit nicer to go for. Maybe I'll go for that now. But just get the XP from killing units, and honestly, the XP is more beneficial to them, that siege boost, than the actual treasure. He missed the yak here. This could have been a 400 yak. Could have been a 400 food yak. He's just hanging out by him lonesome. There's probably like a second over here too. Oh, and even finding one right there. Okay, but I mean, he'll still be able to fan them up. And Lacasse taking his time, not really going out eating these guys yet. Should. I mean, they're not going to get any fatter than they are now, so might as well start eating them. And we do have a corral coming down back at home. Let's take a look. Sorry, recalculated economic population. That was a little bit deceptive. And yeah, the eco is pretty in favor of Forjustice right now. So Lacasse may be feeling fine that he got a H3, a naked FF off with fattened yaks. No pressure on him. He may be feeling good, thinking he's in the good position. But little does he know Forjustice is throwing down a second dock and has quite a few fishing boats here, and is just full boom mode himself, and he's even about to age up himself, and he's going to be aging up with a much superior eco. And now Lacasse shipping the military, going for the military now. Foreign logging coming in for Forjustice, so it increases eco even further. So the timer is on for Lacasse. He really needs to make something happen really soon. As this India eco is just nearly double the eco of the Iroquois right now. I mean, with these fan yaks, they will help a lot, but honestly, this is quite unfortunate. Like, Lacasse should have his food villagers on these yaks, and then he could adjust his eco to where he just needs like very few villagers on food, and then the rest of the villagers on like wood or gold, and he could really pump out units. But like, these yaks, they're just doing absolutely nothing for him right now. And like, the game could be decided before now he starts eating them finally, but the game might be over before he gets like any benefit from them really. Oh, and 2 Caravels being chipped for Forjustice. He's probably maybe just being overly safe, feeling like he's in a really good position. He just wants to secure the sea and thinking maybe like the only way he could lose, like he can't lose unless sea gets stolen from him. And even a castle going down for Forjustice, just being super like defensive here. How much do these castles cost? 250 wood, 100 gold. He likes his castles. He's thrown down a second castle. Do they like do that? What's the reasoning? Do they do like that much damage? Or I'm a little bit confused, to be honest. Anyways, Lacasse sieging down the Agra. Oh, the age up does come in from Forjustice, unfortunately, with the resources going to the forward Agra. 3 hussars are out here. And actually, let's take a look. There is like no military from Forjustice. I'm getting overly focused on these interesting castles. But yeah, looking at the military population, it is very heavy in favor of Lacasse. There's a siege fire, though. Could possibly even repair the Agra if he wants to put the food into to start repairing it. Probably worth it. And he's siege fire allowing him to gather up that coin, so very, very good siege fire right there. giving him time to get some units out. Needs to throw down some military buildings, though, I would think. The Agri Fort is being repaired. It did. Yep, it's been repaired a pretty decent amount there, actually. So I'm just going to buy him a little bit more time. And there's the Urumi shipments. The Agri is going to go down. Forjustice is... Oh, he's going for an FI. Yeah. So it looks like Forjustice is trying to do an FI. Don't really know why. I mean, obviously he can't see what I see, but... he could be fine just fighting this out, I think, in H3, but instead it looks like he's macroing for the FI. Throwing down another castle. Just to try to hold off pressure and buy time for as much superior eco, I suppose. This is going to be very scary, though. Forjustice going for a very scary FI when he has, like, very little military. And Lacasse State's just right in his base. Castle going down. Not sure if this castle's going to get up here. Urumi, looks like Forjustice is going to start the fight here. Minutemen are being called. Yeah, I mean, he's not aging or even really close to aging, but he's just floating tons and tons of res as if he's trying to age. Deciding that he's just going to take the fight, but with so many resources in his bank and basically Urumi just fighting by himself, it seems like just a giant waste of these Urumi. All the Urumi melting. Forjustice falling apart here when he has a huge eco lead. And, oh, he's looks rough. He's really throwing down another castle. Man, does this guy know something that we do not know? Him and his castles. 8 Sepoy being trained. Or, I mean, being shipped. And look, Fortress is kind of bleeding away units just little by little. And all meanwhile having a giant bank and and I think no military building. Okay, now he does have military buildings back here, but and there goes the Gurkhas. Oh god, looks like a Forjustice kind of falling apart here. Will the castle strategy work? Let's see. 30 ranged attack, 1.5 times multiplier versus cavalry. Huh. 1.5 times multiplier versus light infantry. Will the castle strategy work? Let's see. Or the castle's going to buy him enough time. But the one scout, very good. Oh, and the wonder does come down now. Oh, but then look at that. The Crusader, the hero Crusader. Good job, Lacasse being active with his military units. Scouting this out and going to slow this siege up down significantly. And Forjustice, I don't know what to say about this. Lacasse shipping resources behind this. And yeah, Forjustice was looking so good there with just a giant eco lead, like nearly double eco lead. But he decided to do an industrial after going super heavy eco, which, you know, going really heavy eco, that takes a while to pay off. And then going industrial, you know, that takes more time to pay off, and it takes a lot of time to get up there. So he did a lot of things that just take a lot of time to occur to benefit from. And now the ecos are being evened up pretty much. C4Justice gonna maybe try to resort to the water play, building another caravel. Let's see if he can make some magic with C here. But yeah, I really liked Forjustice's position in this game earlier, but making some wrong calls and trying to force in an industrial when wasn't quite necessary. Zams are gonna pick off this one explorer. Had a big task to build the town center himself, but he did not make it out. Rifle Riders are now responding though. And Lacasse actually aging up himself, so Forjustice, hey, he gets industrial. He's about to be industrial. Well, what did he give to go industrial? Gave up a lot. Lacasse on his way to H4 himself here. Sam's hiding behind the ship here. Let's take a look at Lacasse State's deck, see if he's anything C-wise. Nope, 0 C. And we do have a third town center going down for Lacasse State. Actually, deleted, I guess. I think he deleted. I don't believe it was denied. Oh man, Forjustice did start booming, I guess, even more, really getting more fishing boats out. So he actually does have the superior eco right now, slightly, and he does have 2 wood trickles, you know, ticking away. So I don't know, is Forjustice still in this game? I mean, I suppose he is, and he is age 4. And what is he gonna have, like endless Yurumi? Let's see what age 4 shipments he has. He does have 2 Yurumi shipments, even a 4 Maha Lancer and 14 Seapoys. Let's take a look at Castate's H4 resources, 16 Tomas, and 4 light cannons. Lecastete now with a siege workshop, 2nd town center. Let's see, does he have stagecoach? Nope, no stagecoach there yet. Killing some houses, so nice little, just doing what damage you can while being safe. And more Yurumi are in for Forjustice here, 4 light cannons for Lecastete. So let's see, how is this game looking? Military-wise, Lacasse, he is in favor, not by a ton, but he does have military unit population lead. And however, economically, Forjustice is in the lead. Both players age 4. What a nutty game. A couple more houses going down though, as Forjustice is forced to rebuild all these houses, just building along the shoreline though. Oh, missing the engage a little bit. Yurumi are trying to connect onto the light cannons. There are a lot of light cannons though, going to be able to fire away here. Gurkha's firing away. Oh, even more light cannons coming in, and that is not going to be enough Yurumi to deal with these light cannons. As Forjustice probably taking this engagement a bit too early. And oh, there's a siege fire, but half the army already got melted. Forjustice going to decide to retreat here. Really forcing that engagement. Didn't need to take it when he didn't have large enough military quite yet, but perhaps unaware that he still has the eco lead, as he did lose lots of villagers, so probably isn't thinking that he has a bit of an eco lead. Council, it's going to go down. Castle, just another house, probably a wonder. So Lacasse just chipping away here. And we have another castle for Forjustice. He loves his castles. He's either a madman or a genius. You guys tell me. Forjustice being really smart, putting his fishing boats on the whales, because the whales are infinite and never run out. Meanwhile, the fish, they do run out. So, and there's only a certain amount of whale spots. You can only put 4 fishing boats on each whale spot. So, and these fish are starting to run pretty low. So once the fish do run out, then he is going to basically have a lot of useless villagers. There's another one over here though. Oh, we do have some. Here we go. Now the castles are actually for cannons though, or for siege elephants. Oh, and he did clean up a couple there. And we do have field cannon being researched. Oh, look how... Oh, Yurumi pop. Here we go. Big engage. Oh, the cannon does go down. Yurumi trying to get there. Another batch of Yurumi trying to connect. Iroquois Explorer shoots off his sharp shot, or his eagle shot. Iroquois Explorer does go down. Gurkha trying to fire away in the back. 2 light cannons still up there. Light cannons making good work of these Yurumi, though. And 2 light cannons survived through that, as that 1 siege elephant could have been huge if that siege elephant could have got down the other cannons, but it actually just got finished off by light cannons. Those 2 light cannons doing huge work in that fight against those Yurumi. Without those, it could have been in favor of Forjustice, perhaps. Economies are looking pretty even now at this point, and like I said, soon these fishing boats are going to run out, and Forjustice is gonna basically have to delete a lot of villagers, and now even losing more here. So Lacasse looking pretty good at this point. One siege elephant is trained here. Here, gonna try to track down these light cannons. Oof! And look at oh god, look at these resources. There's a lot of resources around that TC. Light siege elephant does take down one light cannon. Ooh, some Gurkha. Look how brave these Gurkha are. Oh, going in for the melee onto the cannon. MVP Gurkhas. Taking out the cannon, but there are 5 more light cannons here. And do we have a town center? I think this is it. Oh wow, yeah. Unfortunately, this is Forjustice's first town center. Meanwhile, while all this was going on, I guess he just didn't have a TC. It seems unfortunate. It seems like he should have been having a TC and like training villagers, but I don't think he was training villagers for a very long time. Especially with the wood trickles, you would assume that he should be able to get that up. But GG, game 3 does go to Lacasse State, as it's always interesting observing games. Obviously, you have a wealth of information that the players do not have, but you know you can always get good insight on how these games go, and it looked very good for Forjustice. But he decided to try to go industrial, and it did not work for him. I think if he stayed H3, he would have been in a really good spot with just a much superior eco at the time. Eco lead at the time. But trying to force in the industrial, a little bit too much. Like, look at this Forjustice villager population lead. Look at this. Like, so he started losing all this eco, but this was because he was sacking his res to go industrial. So he was like at this point when he hit H3. Imagine if he hit H3 and his plan was to just stay H3 and make an army. He had about double the eco, almost like double the eco of Lacasse State, and that's with like 2 wood trickles too. He's just in such a superior lead right here at this point. But instead he decided to try to go with H4 and just did not work out. Alright, so that was Forjustice, who chose Civilization first, which means Lacasse State is forced to choose his pick here. This is the Civ reset, right? Yeah, it is. Just say it. Alright, Lacasse State locking in pretty quickly. So in this Play All 5 series, as you guys know, the Civ rule resets after Game 3. So the first 3 games you can't repeat Civs. But then after that you can play your Civs again. Just one time, though. So Lacasse going with his best Civ here. Most comfortable with German. Let's see how Forjustice goes for the Civ count here. as in game 1 they just agreed on the matchup. Lacasse did play as German and Forjustice played as Japan, and Forjustice did win that game. So yeah, Forjustice going with Japan again. He felt really good in game 1, so he's going to do it again. Alright everybody, we are underway with game 4 here in the EPL tournament. This is week 3 here. We have Lacasse State playing versus Forjustice. Forjustice is currently up 2-1 in this Play All 5 series. Lacasse State forced to lock his civ in first in this game. With the civ reset, he does choose to pick his German civilization, which is his most played, most comfortable civilization here. Forjustice deciding to go Japan, as game 1 was the same exact matchup. Game 1 it was on a different map, but Forjustice did get the win in game 1 in this same matchup. So let's see if he can repeat that magic. It is a gold start, so a bit unfortunate for German, I would say. I mean, I think Japan benefits from wood starts quite a bit too, but you know, I would say that it would be more beneficial for German if this was a wood start, as German players always like to get their trading post up as soon as possible. But it is a gold start, so instead Lacasse is going to have to build a market and just get hunting dogs in H1, and then in transition he'll build his trading post. Forjustice picking up a nice little 40 wood treasure there, building his first shrine back at home. Forjustice just leaving his gold on the floor here. Not going to be able to do anything with it in H1. So this would be an interesting one, as we looked at the previous game. So in the game 1, when it was the same matchup, it was played on Florida, which was nice, as Forjustice was able to get his fishing boats from the consulate, so that was able to boost his eco even further. Oh wow, and Forjustice actually going for a trading post here. I don't believe he went for an early trading post in the Florida game. I know he shrine boomed very heavily in that game, and Lacasse State in that game, Lacasse State played very eco focused, and Lacasse State did a naked FF while getting like steel traps. So we'll have to see if Lacasse State's going to switch it up this game, go for something different, or if he's going to stick to that. I mean, I think it was looking pretty even in that game 1. It was just the positioning from Lacasse was just not good for him, and he just ended up getting his units caught quite poorly. But he was in a pretty good position in that game to potentially win. So let's see if Lacasse feels like he can just repeat his strategy and just attempt to have better unit positioning and control. And he might think that he's still in a good spot by doing that. Let's take a look at the treasures here. Villagers, or the explorers, finding each other here. Let's see, nobody's really low HP though. Alright, so Lacasse, let's see, let's do some math. That is 70 coin. Lacasse with 70 coin, 40 food. Okay, that's more coin. So Lacasse had 170 coin, 40 XP, and 40 food. So that is a lot of coin. And meanwhile, Forjustice with, what, 40 food, 40 wood, and 90 food. So pretty even. Forjustice with the food treasures, allowing him to get up to H2 a bit quicker. Lacasse getting a lot of gold there in H1, but he's really not going to be able to, unless, did he buy? I'm not sure if he bought, because I think, let's see. Yeah, no, he probably used those early initial coin treasures to get hunting dogs, and then so he's just got like 100 gold stacked right now. So not really able. So he's not able to use that gold at the moment. While the food treasures for Forjustice did allow him to get up to H2 a little bit quicker. Okay, so bringing his villagers pretty far out here to do some herding. And Cassie now on his way to H2. Looks like the Explorer slightly out of position, now building a trading post. Let's hope he doesn't miss a pass here because of this. It doesn't look like he will, as this guy's just coming around now. But a lot of times, you know, you want to have your explorer ready to build the trading post as soon as you get that 200 wood. Because occasionally, if you have to walk far, even just a little bit, and then like you miss the pass, you know, you'll be like so mad at yourself. But it looks like it won't really cause a difference, unless if he could have maybe went for the middle with TP and got the pass there. But he is gonna get it when it comes around. It's gonna be a little while, but he will get that TP pass. And let's take a look at text completed here. We got hunting dogs in H1 for Lacasse State. Now placer mines. Oh, and look at this, Forjustice building the wonder that will give him a samurai here. So he's going to be pretty aggressive this game, and he does have a trading post. So much different playstyle from Forjustice in this game than in game 1. So he's getting a military rickshaw and a samurai here. He has a trading post. So I'm expecting Forjustice to be shipping unit like after unit here, like lots of military shipments. Could potentially go defensive if there's not a whole lot going on, but I feel like a lot of times when Japan players build a trading post and they build the Torii Gates Wonder, they'll be like really aggressive and just ship lots of military units. So we'll have to see what he decides to go for here. Samurai crossing the map, but he's not finding anything though. So I mean, if he does ship, and we do have a barracks going down for Lacasse State, so he's switching it up quite a bit. Looks like I believe he probably just scouted that Torii Gates Wonder. So this will be interesting. I don't know how this is going to work out for Japan here. I like kind of like the German position here. Let's see if the samurai can get onto these Ulans though. Forjustice doing a good job trying to and yeah, there you go. Very good job. Very good micro from Forjustice attacking the Ulans with the explorer, trying to trick Lacasse's Ulans into attacking the explorer, and then meanwhile getting the samurai on top of these Ulans. And the samurai did get a couple hits there. So nice little micro there. And shipment sent. Forjustice actually just shipping the 4 villagers, and Lacasse State shipping his 3 settler wagons. So, ooh, and we got a stable down, and Nagy's being trained. Lacasse State does see this. Hopefully he had, yeah, it looks like he's moving as explorer, so he did hopefully see that. Most likely he did see those cavalry walk right past him. But that's going to be really big getting that information. But he does still have his crossbows really far out, so maybe he missed it. Maybe the cav went by his explorer and he didn't see it as they ran past his explorer, because his crossbows are quite a bit exposed right now, and he just made a second batch of crossbows. But he is now going to see these Nagys, and his crossbows are now kind of on a good side where they're far away from the Nagys, and just going to have TC fire kind of firing away here. So the Nagys are now retreating here. Just trying to do a little bit of poking. Does poof away with his explorers, try to build some shrines. Only at 50 shrine pop here, so he's going very military focused here. I mean, he is shipping villagers, but only at 50 shrine pop, so. German explorer is going to go down here. 700 gold coming in for Lacasse here. Looks like he's ready to age up. And Forjustice, I mean, is he macroing to age here? He's shipping gold himself. Looks like they're both macroing to age, but I don't know how good this is going to be for the Japan player. Very, very low eco. Sorry. Yeah, very low eco, and looks like he's going to be going for the age up. Let's take a look at text completed, and then, yeah, we do even have steel traps from Lacasse and even gang saw. So, Lacasse going pretty eco focused here. I mean, he made some longbows, made a barracks, but right now he's on his way to H3, and Forjustice is also on his way to H3, but with only 50 shrine population. He does get a free villager there, which is nice, of course, but yeah, I mean, he actually has more eco right now, I suppose. Yeah, he does have 8 more. Well, I guess just from shipping the 4 villagers. But yeah, I mean, I would assume that this shipment spike from Lacasse is going to be pretty strong. As once he gets H3, he's going to be able to ship these skirmishers, possibly war wagons, Ulans, and lots of those really heavy, really strong shipments to send. Market now going down for Forjustice, as yeah, this is his first market, so no market upgrades at all. Consulate going down, Iraq's going down, and a wonder here. So right now, Forjustice does have more eco population, but he has 0 market upgrades at the moment. Just built his market, while Lacasse State has hunting dogs, steel traps, placer mines, and gang saws. So it's always interesting, you know, when you really consider that the ecos are probably even, maybe even Lacasse State favored. Couple more shrines already going down, and he's finally getting over that 50 shrine pop. And here we go. First shipment comes out, and it is war wagons, the 3 war wagons, along with those 3 Uhlans. And looks like Lacasse State's ready to cross the map. Batch of Yumis are trained for Forjustice here. And this could be a scary, scary push from Lacasse State. I think he's going to have a pretty big timing window where he could do a lot of damage, as Forjustice now just getting H3 himself, and he's like still popped. He's being forced to build more shrines and now trying to build some military, but his military lead is quite in favor of Lacasse State, and with these very strong German shipments, that military lead is just going to grow even stronger. And we have some disciplined Yabashumis being trained. Here we go, big engage. Yumis, Uhlans are in really good positioning here, trying to connect onto the Yumis. Some Nagys are coming in from behind. War wagons are there, ready for them though. Expo's trying to catch up. Not a lot of anti-cav though at the same time, and Yumis are really just firing away here. Lacasse possibly should have waited longer there, as he kind of just threw away some Uhlans there. Looks like maybe perhaps pushing a little bit too soon. He shipped 3 war wagons, but then decided to follow it up by 1,000 wood. So I thought he was going to go really heavy eco, but deciding, or really heavy military there. Could have possibly had a really good window timing window. But that did not work out, or he decided to actually ship 1,000 wood. And now we have disciplined Yumis. Oof. What? Wait, what? Has anybody... Okay. Man, Forjustice, he's an entertaining guy to watch. So we have an interesting... He's on the Spain consulate right now. And I'm just... Honestly, let me just be honest. I don't think I know, like, what these units really are. The Spain consulate from Japan. They are the Turkoi. Look like they are pikes, essentially pikes. 5 times multiplier versus cavalry, 10 hand damage. They're pikes, but from the Spain consulate, they look very, very unique here. Oh man, that is awesome. And yeah, this Japan army is just looking very scary. Like lots of upgraded Yumis, some Nagi riders, a couple of the Yabashumis, and of course the Teroki. Oh man, this is going to be a pretty good push here. Let's take a look at the German military though. A little bit more standard with some skirmishers and war wagons. Some crossbows still there, and Uhlans now joining here, veteran Uhlans. Military unit population is in lead of Lacasse State here. The Spanish consulate, quite interesting stuff. And here we go, engagement is starting to begin, but this is a lot of Yumis, and too many Yumis for Lacasse State to really do anything. Here we go, the Uhlans are now trying to come in and possibly try to connect with a snare here, but yeah, this Japan army just looks very scary. There's just, yeah, you gotta back up Lacasse State. I'm not, no pull trick. A little bit disappointed by Lacasse State. I felt like he should be pulling these units. He's losing a couple units on the retreat there. Not pulling the skirmishers and exploits back. And here we go, Japan player looks like he's ready to go for Justice. This strong military, but here we go. The Uhlans are going to connect onto the Yumis, get pretty good positioning here. The Spanish pikemen are trying to move in though, forcing Lacasse State to actually retreat. He got afraid of these. He saw these guys and he was confused himself. He didn't know what to do. He saw Spanish consulate units from Japan player and he just freaked out. He didn't want any of that right there. Let's get a good look at these boys. All right, military population is in favor of Lacasse. He's just shipped 8 skirmishers. Uhlans are coming in for possibly a good flank here. Let's see if he can make something happen. This is a lot of Uhlans here, as the anti-cav mass isn't that large from Forjustice. But yeah, oh man, Lacasse State actually pulling back. So Lacasse State just trying to get on more of the map here, getting on this hunt and securing this gold mine. Not trying to force an engagement. We do have intervention come in for... Oh god. Yes. We have intervention come in for Forjustice, and Forjustice is on the Spanish consulate. So that means more of the Turquios. Beautiful. Beautiful. So there we go. There's a lot more anti-cav for Forjustice. Not really waiting for them, though. Let's see. Hopefully they get there in time. And even with some more anti-cav cavalry here. Forjustice retreating, waiting for his Spanish consulate units to get in here. And there we go. Now this Jap army is getting really scary. He needs to get these guys on the front line, though. Uhlans are now connecting onto the Yumis. War wagons are in the back. Skirmishers firing away, but these Uhlans are starting to melt extremely quickly, and these Yumis are standing very strong, holding extremely strong here. This Japan army is looking incredibly strong. Lacasse frustrated and seeing his army melt before his eyes, and Casse seeing the frustration from Lacasse, and he calls the GG 3-1 to Forjustice. These Forjustice techniques are just beyond us, possibly. Wow, even building shrines that are just not on any hunts, but I guess maybe he was kind of out. I could have won here. Can't build shrines on the ice here, but wow, that's some great gameplay here from Forjustice. Going with the Spanish consulate, I like it. Yeah, I think Japan is a very good civ to play versus German. I think Germans do struggle versus Japan quite a bit, to be honest. And Forjustice really taking advantage of this. But I do think Lecastete had a big timing window to push and do a lot of damage when they both hit H3. But unfortunately, Lecastete decided to ship 1,000 wood after the 3 war wagons. I think if that was like another unit shipment and then he pushed in, I think he potentially could have done a lot of damage there. But just gave the Japan player a little bit too much time there. And as you're seeing, Forjustice did have the superior military mass, and he just melted Castate's army there. Alright, so that is what that is game 4 there. Getting into game 5. All right, waiting for them to host up here. Here we go. Okay, so what Lecastete chose first there in that game, right? So Forjustice is going to have to choose first here in game 5. And we're going to be playing on Bengal. Alright, so, ooh, I could see Forjustice going India. He did play India in what, that was game 2, I believe he was India. What was his other civ? He was Japan, India, and then what was his other civ? Oh, jeez. Oh, he was British. The British-French game, yeah. I think the India was actually game 3. So yeah, I could see Forjustice going India here. I think that might be the most common choice. Could perhaps go Brits, but I think we'll see an India from Forjustice here. And then Lacasse with the opportunity to counterpick. He actually did, in the previous game, he was able to counterpick Forjustice's India, and he counterpicked with Eero and did win. But this is a no TP map, so I'm not sure that he would go Eero again here. We'll have to see what And Forjustice going with Russia here, expanding his map pool quite a bit here. It's a very impressive player, very kind of low-key player, to be honest. Yeah, very unknown. I don't know. He's currently ranked captain, but obviously his skill level is not captain. He's playing very good. Has a pretty good civ pool, and quite an interesting player. Alright, so Forjustice is locking in with Russia, which I think is a very, very good choice on this map. Lacasse, let's see, what could he do here? I think India could be a good choice here. Potentially be a good choice. But I don't think Lacasse plays India. Lacasse, he's comfortable with French, but honestly, I don't think French is a good option here. Let's see, Lacasse has played as French, he's played as German twice, and he's played as Iroquois. So he can't German. Don't think French is the way to go here. And Euro on no TP map. No, even Euro are quite strong even on no TP maps at the point, it seems, but I don't think Euro is the way to go either. Alright, Lacasse taking his sweet time here. A little bit long intermission. I'm not sure if smoke breaks should technically be allowed here. But little break, little intermission here. I wouldn't mind. People have raised this opinion or concern in the past. Some players have been upset with players taking a long time in between games to choose a civilization. While I do think that there should be a decent amount of time to choose your civilization, and I don't think it should be super rushed, as picking your civ on like each map is very, very important, and it can be very crucial in series. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind, and I do kind of think that there should be a time limit, because even if you think about it, like it's kind of like calling a timeout. Like Lacasse, you're going for like a smoke break or just taking a really long break. It's essentially like somebody in sports, like a basketball team, like calling a timeout. Like when a basketball team is like on a bad run and like the opponent's team just scored like 12 straight points, and you guys are like really just kind of like frustrated and just not playing good. Like the teams will like call a timeout to like regroup and like get your composure back. And when instead like the other team, they would have like the momentum going and all that. So it's like essentially like calling a timeout, and you could kind of say it's unfair as it's taking away like the momentum from Forjustice. He just came off of a win. He's feeling good. Lacassete's a bit frustrated, and the momentum's in favor of Forjustice. But by taking like a long break, it kind of like throws off that vibe and that like mentality. And so I think there definitely should be quite a bit of time to choose a civ, but I wouldn't mind having like a timer, like a timer that starts like right after the game or whenever everybody like joins the party. Like you click on a timer and it's like a 5-minute timer or something, or maybe like 7 minutes. Like I don't know, maybe 5 minutes might be good enough. But just a timer, and we have it as like a little graphic up on the screen, and player has to say what civ they're picking by the time that timer runs out. And I wouldn't mind it, honestly. I think that would help series. But anyways, those are my thoughts. We're in Game 5 here of this Play All 5 series, and Forjustice is currently up 3-1. Casse going to try to secure another win for his team. And we're playing on Bengal. Forjustice forced to choose his civilization first here, going with Russia, which is a very good choice on Bengal, and Lacasse deciding to play India here. Nice little 50 wood treasure. Gonna be able to pick that up right away. Ooh, 90 wood treasure in the middle. The explorers are gonna meet. Oh, and there we go. Forjustice does connect with the snare. Lacasse with a little bit of a slip up there. But Lacasse hopefully gonna be able to get this treasure and then kind of pull this explorer away. Maybe connect with the snare. Forjustice working on hurting his second hunt here. Very nice. Whenever you can snare an India elephant, very nice, and especially if you can do it early, it's of course very nice. Lacasse trying to pull the elephant away now. Trying to get him there. Come on, elephant. Let's go. House going down for Lacasse State. Kind of far back behind the TC. Not. Sometimes you'll see players make natural walls with the houses. Perhaps it will do that, form some type of wall, but would have maybe expected to see it a little bit more forward or something. But sometimes you just, if you have your APM focus on something else, sometimes you just end up throwing a house anywhere, kind of without really considering where you're putting it. Another big 80 coin treasure in the middle, and that was huge. Forjustice being able to connect with that snare, it damaged the Indian elephant a lot, and now it's going to make it much more difficult for Lacasse to get treasures and even just contest these big treasures. So very nice damage from Forjustice with his explorer there. Well, let's see. Hopefully this one doesn't get hurted away though. Okay, so there's lots of HP there. Russia, wow, Forjustice really likes to herd in Age 1. Honestly, this is quite strange, and I don't think it's very smart. Ooh, snaring the Explorer again and getting the yak. Very nice from Forjustice. Maybe even going to be able to kill this Explorer, which would be just huge. Oh, no, Lacasse, good job pulling the Explorer away. Very low health, though. Yeah, so Forjustice, he's probably going to slow down his age up time here a little bit. Going to have some idle TC time as he's using this villager to herd this hunt, and he walked another villager all the way across the map in H1 to start herding. So I feel like that's going to hurt his age up, by, kind of quite a bit. Usually you save the herding for until after you start advancing to H2. Oh, let's see, is Forjustice able to get a shot off here? Nope. It's like 19 health here. Who? Oh no, that's still there. Yeah. Alright, so now Forjustice is on his way to H2. Lecastete about to start clicking up himself. Let's see. Does have the defensive aggro here going down. 50 coin treasure. Looks like Forjustice might be walking up to. 2 more villagers joining the one in the middle of the map here to drop down a forward blockhouse here in a little bit. There we go. Blockhouse is now going down. Picks up a 40 coin treasure there. And Lecastete now just herding this hunt here. Good job. Trying to get this hunt as far as you can. Oh, he does kill one though. Oh, and here we go. The walls do come down. Very nice. So yeah, this wall didn't really serve any purpose. A lot of times you can, you could have built it like here and made it kind of part of his wall, but instead it's kind of just the house just sitting there. But I do like these walls from Lacasse. Very nice. Or he could have even maybe made the wall connect here or something like that. But he's just happy doing this, I suppose. Take a look at text completed. We got nothing, no markets, shipment sent. Both of them going with the wood trickles. And the Russia player is now up to H2 with the 400 wood politician. Take a look at their decks real quick, see if they got anything nutty in here. Looks like standard stuff. Wouldn't expect anything too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy. We do have a forward house from the Russia player. Okay, I suppose for line of sight here. Oh yeah, maybe just line of sight of the treasure even. Interesting. 90 wood treasure is still there, so Forjustice has his eyes on that, and also an 80 coin. So very nice treasures to kind of keep your eyes on. And he's just gonna basically get them for free. That's just what you get with the map control, and that's huge. If you don't even really discuss it, this is like 180 or 160 resources. No, that's 90 wood, so 170. And here we go, 5 Cossacks are shipped along with the 5 muskets that were trained, and they're now moving in, trying to find something. Lacasse, very nice walls here though. Really walling this off. Killing a couple more animals than he needed to, but it happens. Forjustice sees these walls and he decides to just retreat. No market from the Russia player. We do have a market from Lecastete. Let's take a look at text completed here. Nothing quite yet. 600 wood is Lacassete's first shipment. Interesting one. I'm not the biggest fan of 600 wood, especially lately. Seems like a lot of India players have been staying away from shipping 600 wood. As with India, you get the wood trickle, so you kind of just India civilization kind of gathers wood easily. So a lot of players have been favoring like sending the second wood trickle or a 300 export over sending 600 wood. But 600 wood's a classic. It's not a huge shock to see it or anything like that. And we did have Lacasse as his first military units. He decided to train Gurkha, which is nice. If you can get away with training Gurkha and not Sepoy against a Russia player, that's very nice. And even second batch of Gurkha here, and now adding a stable and a consulate. So he's going to be going for that Gurkha Zam composition. Meanwhile, Forjustice now mixing in some Strelets. Ooh, and look at this, shipping spice trade early. So here we go again, eco-focused upgrade here. I'm going to read it off for you to get the exact percent here. I believe it's 20. So yeah, villagers gather work rate for hunted animals is increased by 20% for berry and for berry bushes. So very nice upgrade there. Looks like Forjustice is just happy walking around the map, picking up some more treasures, getting like those like basically just free resources. Since he's got the map control, Lacasse State house right here, you gotta drop down a house. And we do now have the 300 export from Lacasse State. He is on the Ottoman Consulate, so expecting to see those 3 villagers. Lacasse State deciding to move on out with his explorers here, both of them. And we do have the market up here pretty forward for Forjustice. Forjustice just running around the map, just looking for more treasures, looking for more yaks. Maybe looking for some, I don't know, hidden villagers or something, I suppose. Lacasse State's moving his elephants here. He's got to be like, what the heck? What's going on? I see a blockhouse. No units in sight. No units even trying to chase me down. What is this guy doing? 700 wood coming in from Forjustice. So he sees these walls and he's like, okay, well, I'll just go full eco, full boom, yeah, full boom mode basically. And he's about to be H3. He's clicking up to H3 right now, and he's got Spice Trade kicking in for him with full map control. Lacasse State adding some more walls here, and see if Lacasse State tries to go H3 himself here, or what his response will be here. He did train quite a bit of Gurkha. Trying to finish up these walls a little bit. Oh, a little random pillar. And let's see. Forjustice just kind of keep map control, keeping eyes on the map, picking up these treasures. And like I said, I mean, these are just like free resources that he's just picking up. So, pretty nice. Take a look at text completed. Let's see, we do have steel traps for Forjustice. Was researched at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Now placer mines coming in for him. We had Ottoman Consulate for Lacasse State come in with the villagers and a couple eco upgrades here, just the tier 1s. You got all the tier 1 eco upgrades. And Lacasse State is about to start advancing to H2 here. Let's see where he decides to drop down his wonder here. So Forjustice may have a little timing window here. Wonder is going down now. Second blockhouse does go down for Forjustice. And we do have a second wood trickle coming in for Lacasse State here. And 3 Hussars. Lacasse State deciding to stay on the Ottoman Consulate for a bit longer and get these 3 Hussars. See if he decides to switch to that Brick Consulate, get the improved infantry units. No Zams on the field quite yet. There we go. Forjustice is up to H3 here. Let's see what Lacasse State's plan is once he gets H3. He's going to be going for Yurumis. He does make some Zams now. He's going to be going for Mahouts. Let's see what his plan is. Taking a look at the eco recalculated economic population. I actually kind of, honestly, the first time I really looked at this, it is actually very, very heavily in favor of Lacasse State. I don't know. I'm really surprised why it's that heavily in favor of him. Yeah, that seems, I don't know, did Forjustice have like lots of idle TC time? Or, I mean, I guess he spent that time aging, so he wasn't training villagers, but it seems like it's very heavily in favor of him. And that's with 2 wood trickles kicking in for Lacasse also, so. And there we go, Lacasse State is up to H3. Forjustice now seeing the age up and sign he's going to move on in. Ooh, this looks like his only other gold mine that Lacasse State's kind of on. It would have been nice to maybe just close off with a wall here or something. Forjustice moving in, sieging at the aggro. Gurkha's going to get some nice volleys off here, though. And, yeah, Forjustice deciding just to retreat here. He doesn't want to keep getting fired away. Oh, but we do have the 2 cannons now. 2 cannons are coming in to kind of finish off this aggro and maybe start pushing in. Some more Zams being trained. Villagers find some more hunt there. Nice. A couple Strelets accidentally wander through these walls and gonna basically get picked off here. Looks like 1 villager does go down. Let's see what big shipments are on the way here for both these players. Possible Yurumi pop as they come in. Nice little pickup here from Lacasse, picking up about 5 Cossacks here. Some more Strelets are dropping, so yeah, Forjustice did kill the aggro, but he did lose quite a bit in the process. However, there isn't a barracks from Lacasse. you would expect to kind of see a barracks right now for Lacasse State. And Forjustice going right underneath the TC. Wow, siege elephants. Siege elephants popping. Hustlers, big stomps right there. Minutemen being called. Two cannons are both still up. As one siege elephant popped in front of the army and kind of went down really quickly. One cannon does go down. Siege elephant still far and away. Cannon gets off a pretty nice volley there. Mahal now moving forward. I think that one was in the back the whole time, actually. Both cannons are now down, though. And this Russian master is going to get cleaned up. All of them on top. This Mahal possibly pulls Mahal back. Mahal does kind of unnecessarily go down there. But meanwhile, this entire Russian army just gets melted here. Interesting shipment. I thought I was going to see Urumi pop there. I think the Urumi honestly would have been a lot better. They could even deal with cannons quite good. But I suppose that's, siege elephants isn't the worst choice just to try to deal with the cannons. And of course, you can never predict that, when you send your shipment that your opponent's going to go right underneath your town center. But of course, in that situation, a Urumi pop could have been extremely deadly. But either way, yeah, Lacasse cleaning this up very nicely. Still with a large eco lead, and now throwing down his barracks, and he's going to be looking really good from this position, I think. Forjustice following this up by shipping 1,000 coin. He did ship 17 Strelets after the 2 cannons, however. Then Lacasse shipping 8 Gurkhas after the 2 siege elephants. Lacasse now moving forward as his army does look pretty scary here. I wonder if he's going to start mixing in Mahouts. And he's currently happy just going Zams. Upgraded Zams and also. One siege elephant left alive, gonna get some nice shots off. Gurkha's trying to hit and run these Strelets here, taking some more shots than they probably need to, however. Lacasse deciding to just retreat here. Is he starting to lose quite a few Gurkhas? Because his Gurkha mass is just not as many as Strelets. However, score is heavily in favor of Lacasse right now. And let's see, what is Forjustice doing with this wood? He already used up all that wood they shipped, that 1,000 wood. Looks like he's basically just turning it into Strelets. And maybe getting some more infrastructure down. Does have a stable down now. Ooh, actually 2 stables he placed. With 4 blockhouses. Oof. Really securing the map. Ooh, Lacasse, nice job though, getting out on the map here, building a town center. And we do have Boyers coming in for Forjustice, so that's going to improve his military significantly. And I don't know, Lacasse had like a really nice army for a while, but now he's kind of slowing down a lot. Yeah, he was looking really good, and now it's like, I don't know, now his army just looks so small. There we go, 3 Mahas. That's the big pop that we're waiting for. So this could be huge. The 3 Mahas could be a big change. He had a lot of resources into that shipment. Cost 1,000 food to send those bad boys. 1,000, right? Yeah, 1,000 food for the 3 Mahas. Do have some Cossacks on the field. Looks like these guys are veteran. Lacasse gonna just try to get good positioning here with these Mahas. Very key. Not a ton of anti-cav either for Forjustice. Does have some muskets, not a giant amount though. Mahou's on the front line. They're charging those Strelets. They're connecting onto the Strelets here. Cossacks are trying to get on top of these Mahou's. Oh my God! Look at that Mahou splash. Lots of Strelets went down immediately. One Mahou does get snared and does go down though. Mahou's trying to connect onto the Strelets. Another batch of Strelets just popped. Mahou's kind of retreating though. I don't know. They're not attacking as much as I think they could be here. Zams are trying to get the Cossacks here. Mahou's went down pretty quickly there, however. Gurkha's firing away at the skirmishers. Cavalry count is just about gone for Forjustice. Just has a couple Cossacks in the back there. Gonna try to hit and run with skirmishers here. Mahas didn't seem like they didn't do quite as much as they could have, as much as Lacasse would have liked there. That one splash was very nice, where two of them attacked at the same time and killed saw 5 skirmishers drop right away, or Starlets, I mean. Elephant getting on top of this Starlets, trying to tank some. A couple Cossacks trying to come in here. Lacasse kind of stops hitting and running though. 2 Cossacks do go down here, or about to go down. Lacasse trying to get out of here. He does have his TC up over here. Oh, and he's running into trees, so it's going to make it difficult to continue to get out of here. Oh, and some Gurkha getting caught there. Batch of 5 Gurkha. Urumi Pop does come in, though, at this town center. And this could be a pretty nice Urumi Pop. However, there's not much army supporting them. There's some reinforcing Gurkha over there if Lacasse gets on top of it. Minutemen being called to also. Urumi are connecting onto the muskets now. Some Cossacks are coming, though. That is a lot of Cossacks coming in here. Zams are going to try to connect onto these Cossacks while staying alive. Minutemen going onto the Cossacks. Gurkha firing away from the back lines. Hard to say which way this one's going. More Gurkhas coming in. More Zams coming on in. Cossack count is still up there a little bit. Oh, these Gurkhas walking in, though. And the Zams, too. Not the best control there from Lacasse. Missing his rally points a little bit, as it's a kind of tough position as he's kind of pinned in here. And now the Cossacks are on top of the Strelets here. Zam's trying to fire away at them. And now even more villagers going down here for Lacasse, as it's looking really good for Forjustice currently. Couple of subscriptions coming in. Thank you guys very much. And now refrigeration even for Forjustice. And yeah, this is looking really good for Forjustice right now. He has the eco lead and the superior military. These Gurkhas are all melting here. And Forjustice just in a really good position at this point. Zams pop, but at the wrong place. And they're getting snared, and some Zams going down for free here. They do escape. Now Forjustice is going to try to siege down this TC, it looks like, while he just has the entire map control here. Zam's got to retreat here on the Strelets here. Not what you want to be doing. And what can Lacasse do at this point? Just running out of all of his natural resources. Villagers are now idled there, ran out of food. And he's basically forces transition to mills, and not a good time for that. And there it is, Lacasse calling the GG. And great series here from both players. Forjustice looking very strong here, winning the series 4-1. Is Lacasse is definitely not a bad player. He's a very good player, and he's been really hot lately. He's actually, I believe, ranked top 10 right now in the ELO leaderboard. So. Definitely a strong player, but Forjustice just taking this one 4-1 with some very impressive play here. And that's it. So Forjustice, he's got to be happy with that. All right, well, let's take a look at these post-game stats, and that is it for this series. But don't go anywhere, guys, because we do have, I believe we have another series like immediately after this. I believe it's immediately after or very shortly after. So I'm going to be done. I'm calling it. I'm just casting this first series here. However, I believe Kaiser Klein will be casting another series right after me. And so we're just going to have more great AoE3 content. And I'm looking forward to taking a little break and watching that myself. So I'm going to be hanging out in the chat with you guys in a little bit as soon as I kind of wrap this up here. Military wise here, look at this. This was Forjustice where, wow. Oh yeah, this was at the town center. Forjustice way more military population, but just losing a ton of it at that TC fight. Which, man, honestly, I mean, of course, Lacasse made some mistakes in this game, but that was a very big mistake. I would say like the biggest obvious mistake that maybe any player made in this game was Forjustice walking his entire Russian army underneath like right on top of an India player town center. One of the India players age 3. Like you have to expect like a Yurumi pop, some kind of super heavy pop, and he just decided to walk his entire army like on top of the TC. So that's a very kind of an obvious thing a rule that you should like just never do. So kind of strange that Forjustice did end up doing that, and he did definitely pay for that. He took a very quite poor engage there, as he lost a lot of units there. But I mean, that just wasn't enough. He was able to still stabilize and just kind of keep map control and just hold out strong in this game and take it. All right, guys, that is it for this, or it for me. But like I said, Kaiser is taking over. I just got word he's going to be taking over right away here. So I'm going to stop the stream in just a second, and then Kaiser will be streaming another great series. So if the stream doesn't come back for you guys, just refresh your screen in like a minute or two. It usually will auto refresh, but occasionally Twitch streams like won't auto refresh, so it'll still appear as if the stream's offline, even though we will be live. So yeah, I'll be seeing you guys in the chat. Looking forward to watching this next series.